y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our Exosphere Community Edition Let's Play. Gotta figure out a quicker way to say that, but welcome back anyways. We are going to go over some things I have found by looking through the mods in the pack, and we're going to keep working towards our Phytogenic Insolator so we can get crops growing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, first things first. Looks like it's nighttime. Let's go hit the hay and make sure that, we're not getting harassed by baddies. Although I found where they were spawning, and I did put down some torches. So hopefully they won't be spawning there torturing me anymore. Now, been harvesting up some crops. Don't quite have enough tertium, however you say it, for our iron seed yet. That's kind of the first tier 3 I want to get going, but I have expanded our inferium and I'm just over here harvesting it whenever I can. But speaking of iron and resources, there is a mining dimension in this pack. It is not that I see listed anywhere in the quests, but it is definitely here. And let's go take a look at how to get there. So it is, what did they call it? Is it's like mining portal or teleporter. So it just takes logs, 4 planks, and a stone pickaxe, which I had in the chest, the don't get distracted chest, that one. I had it there waiting on us. Now, what we should be able to do is just place this down, and I do believe right click it with an empty hand. And oh my god, we're over lava on a piece of wood. This does not seem right. Help, don't set on fire. Oh, it's the teleporter. Okay, so let's put down a bookmark and be like, teleporter. Now, this is different than the mining dimension that we've seen in other ones, but as you can see, there's redstone right there. There should be a ton of other resources available to us. Let's go with the large tunnel and just try and get away from this lava here, and then we can find a more open area. Now this is more like an underground terrain generation situation where we're gonna see resources generating here in this world, and we're gonna have to chase the caves around. It's not like the other mining dimension where you just, it's a flat world or whatever. But as you can see, with very little complication right there, we found some iron. So if you find yourself struggling, especially in the early game, for resources, this mining teleporter could be great for you for being able to find the things that you need. Just like that, here's some diamonds for us. Let's see what we've got. We've already found 2 iron ore. I was hoping this was going to be like vanilla iron vein or something in here, but it's not. So I'm going to mine around a little and try to grab us up a little bit more iron. I think we're going to need it to get through the things that we want to get done today. But I wanted to put this in here just so that you guys, if you're just starting the pack and you're not as progressed or as where I am by episode 4, that you've got this as an option. Maybe we'll even take this and cut it into a short to try and let people know, hey, there's ways to get your resources. But right now, I'm just burning a pickaxe. So I'll be right back with you. I'm going to look for some iron, and then I'll meet you back at the base. Alrighty, back at the base. You're going to notice a few things different. The enchanter, there should have been a short, came out before this episode where I kind of went over that. This is the Enderio enchanter. You can make a chance. They are pricey on experience to make the books for the enchants. But if you want something specific and you don't want to waste a ton of levels rolling the table, it probably will cost you about the same of like having to roll the table. But we do have easy villagers in the pack, which means trading for whatever enchant you really want is just a matter of time. And I don't know, time versus in-game experience, I'd probably just spend the in-game experience. Now you're going to notice the pulverizers here, the induction smelter we made there. So we didn't make the pulverizer last time, but we talked about it. It was just another thermal machine. Nothing new needed to be made. So I made it so I could start processing through all of the raw ore that we had gotten. And now, as you can see, we're up to like 25 blocks of gold, which we had just an absolute ton of. We've got a lot of copper coming in too. And so I have just smashed all of that down in the pulverizer, and then I stuck a barrel on top of the alloy smelter because it will smelt 3 at a time of whatever you stick in here. And so it's much, much faster than the blast furnace. And then I've got it outputting to the top. To set that, you just come to your little IO config, pick the face you want to change, and you can spin this window so you can see all the faces, so you can spin the machine there. So we've just got it telling it to push to the top. Same over here, it's on the configuration tab, but I told it can input and output to the top. So what you do here is like you got a bunch of raw ore, you dump it up here and it's going to suck it in, pulverize it, and push the output back to the same barrel. And since it can't repulverize the dust, we're golden. It works just fine. So that was one of the things I wanted to get covered in today's episode. The next is going to be this. I really want to get to the Phytogenic Insulator, and that takes lumium. So for lumium, you need, it's 1 to 3 to 2. So for every 1 silver ingot you want to make of lumium, you need, 3. So it's 3, 10, and 2 glowstone. So I've got enough to make 5 batches of lumium here. I'm going to toss that into our induction smelter, which is still kind of slow. We will get into making some upgrades for these machines, augments to make them go faster. Don't know if that's going to get into today's episode or not, but we're going to go ahead and start this lumium here so that hopefully by the end we will have enough lumium to make our 2 gears so that we can make up at least 1 Phytogenic Insulator together in today's episode, and I can show you why I have been working so hard to get to those. It's really going to open up our ability to just, grow resources. We'll need to go find them once and make our seeds, and then we'll be able to grow them, and that frees us up for exploration and playing with all sorts of other fun things that the pack creators have for us in this pack. Now, this right here, this is to work towards storage. This is for our storage controller for sophisticated storage. Everything you need was right there in the chest. 4 stone, 2 redstone comparators. Hence why we had to go to the nether last episode, a chest and 2 planks. When we come over here and combine all of those, that is going to give us a storage controller. It wants a sophisticated chest. No biggie. So sophisticated chest is just a redstone torch. So let's, we got plenty of redstone right there and some sticks. And then we can take this and make a torch. We'll make a few. And then we can combine that in a crafting grid, and that's going to convert our basic chest into a sophisticated chest. You can do it with like the slap-on upgrades too, but that's just quicker for us to get it done right now. And here we go. So this storage controller block is sort of useless to us right now, but you can see how it works. So if I put it here under the stairs and you hover over it, you're going to see that it's showing us the contents of this chest that's next to it, but it treats any sophisticated storage that is touching as a multi-block, chest or barrel. So when we connect up our refined storage controller or external storage or whatever it's called, I can't remember what the interface is called, but when we hook that up to this block, we are going to be able to access everything in all of these chests through this one block. We'll also be able to input into here. Now, it doesn't do the best of item management. It just kind of puts it wherever. It doesn't necessarily look for a chest that already has it and stack them like you would really hope it would. But for early game, before you have enough to make a ton of discs and start getting real hefty into the disk-based storage with refined storage, this is a great stopgap to not have to redo everything. You don't have to worry about taking everything out and putting it on discs and all of that. You can just link it up and use it as it is. So I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. We had talked about that last episode. Now, lumium, we've got that being made. We're still waiting to make our Phytogenic Insulator. We made our mining dimension teleporter, and we can't sleep right now because it's a blood moon. We are pretty well spawn proof, so we shouldn't see baddies spawning out here near us, so we don't really probably have much of anything to fight during this blood moon. Come here, are you looking for a fight? I'll mess you up with my giant sword. Yeah, no, I mean, there might be a spot back here where they can still spawn a little further away. I don't know if I got all the way into this corner. Let's see. Any mobs? Hello? Anybody back here looking for a fight? Nope. Looks like... Oh yeah, looks like this is all pretty well spawn-proofed back there. So yeah, we really shouldn't have too many more zombie overruns of the base unless we break some of the torches. I did get a few feral flare lanterns put out around the base, so I'll start taking these torches out and making sure that I've got good coverage on those, because I like invisible light sources for my base. That way I can just kind of know that I'm good and not have to worry about getting wrecked while I'm potentially AFK. Oh, look, there's a baddie. So there is a mechanic on this sword. Oh, wow. 2 iron ingots that I didn't go over with you guys. On right click, you can dash forward and it will shrug off the next few things that try to hit you. And then my next attack does 95% damage on a single target, meaning that hit took away about half that guy's health. And you can also use it to, like, as you're running around, like say you just want to, you know, run a little quicker. It's only got a very short cooldown, and you can use it just for advancement as you're running around the base. Oh, I bet you that guy spawned up there, because I haven't gone up there to spawn proof. So we'll probably need to take a look at spawn proofing up there to make sure we don't have any more of the baddies dropping on our heads. But it's no biggie, as we can just slay them unless I'm AFK. So, all right, where were we? What were we doing? Let's take a look at the quest book. So redstone, it wants us to make a sconce lever, which is a sconce from supplementaries that is a redstone one. So it looks like a sconce, but you can use it to send a redstone signal. That is something real simple we can get done. It's a torch, some iron nuggets, and some redstone. So we just need a torch, some iron nuggets, and some redstone, which we have all in our inventory. Let's not run around with that in our hand. There we go. There's our sconce that it wants for the quest credit, and here's our sconce lever. Now, these are, I do believe, light sources that can be used as a redstone signal. So I think I can put it there, and then since the door, you know, I can open and close the door with the torch. Kind of neat if you want to do like some hidden entrances. They do emit light level the same as a torch, so you know, good for decorations, and maybe you want to have like a hidden spot in your base. Who knows? Maybe we'll build one. But anyways, so let's just toss away these little bit of drops we got here while we're at our chests. You know, keep your inventory nice and tidy. Makes it easier to find things when you need them. Working on getting our way up to the 4 tertium so we can make our iron seed. Right there, that's kind of the next one I'm after. Let's unpin those 2. We're gonna leave that pin. This raw processor, we actually looted one of them, so I have it pinned for the recipe because we are going to need more of them as we move into refined storage, but we're gonna leave that pinned. These are seeds I want to get into. The next thing, immersive aircraft. Okay, so you know, the quest book in here, it's not a hand-holding quest book. It's nudging you gently in the right direction, sort of pushing you to explore. I have the feeling that this quest book may be the same one from the non-community edition, so there may be things in community edition that were added that aren't in the quest book, and you know, that's a-okay. You know, it's fine by me, but I've had to go and study the mod list so that I can see what's in here, and there's a few of them. Oh, actually, before we get into immersive aircraft, all right, we're in uncharted waters here. I've got 17 minutes or so left in this video, and I'm done with the don't get distracted barrel, so let's get distracted with Wooly. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for putting up with me. I love you guys. So yeah, the immersive aircraft, I have that bookmark, but one that has been a problem for us so far is ender pearls. And there is a mod in here called Ender Seeds. Yes, not Enderman seeds, Ender Seeds. So we can plant on farmland or tilled endstone, and it takes 4 ender pearls to make them, and these grow into ender pearls. So if we take some seeds and we come over here and we put it right there, and let's just go ahead and make 2 of them because I imagine we'll get stuff that much faster. These are going to grow, and at the full growth, they are going to drop 1 to 2 ender pearls per harvest. Now it says that you can plant it on farmland or tilled endstone. Well, that says farmland, but it's not letting me plant it. Nope, doesn't go there either. Interesting. Well, I hope I didn't just record this to not be able to, like, actually plant these. I wonder if it wants, like, a dry farmland. I do have the book pinned, so give me a second. I'm going to go, not the book, the website for the mod. Let me go look at that and see if I'm reading that wrong. Aha! I think it's too bright out here for these to grow. It says it needs a light level 7 or less to grow, meaning we would need a dark room. Shoot. Elevator blocks. Oh! Looks like he came on cue. Come here. Where are you? I'll look you straight in the eye, bud, because I want you to come let me kill you. And I really hope you drop an ender pearl. Where are you at? Where'd he go? I'm not making that up. That was an enderman, right? Like, he was teleporting around. There he is. Come here. Your mama's ugly. I mean, I called him names, I talked about his mom, and he's still just running away. These endermen, like, they act all big and tough. Where are you? Oh, I almost dashed into the void. That would have been not good. Dude, where is he at? Did he go through the portal? I guess maybe he teleported through the portal and we missed it. Dang it. All right. Well, I was going to say we can make some elevator blocks, but for now, let's just find somewhere. We need some dirt, though. Let's grab some dirt. Oh, shoot. How am I on recording time? There we go. Okay. So little bit of dirt here, and then we need a light level 7 or less, but I think it'll grow on any light level if you have tilled in stone. So maybe once we get to the end, we can do this somewhere else. But for now, let's just make ourselves a little hole in the mountain here. Oh, we're not gonna be able to do it there because I've got those, darn things. And I bet you the mining dimension is lit enough that it will not work there either. I don't think I put a feral flare lantern over here. So maybe if I dig in over here, it can get darker. All right, let's put some dirt here. And then let's take off our night vision goggles. And F7. Yes, okay. So it is dark enough in here. We can put, I think a door would be fine. But we should be able to till this and plant our seeds. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Now, do they pop off if it gets too light in here? Let me go get a door. Ebony door. Black door for going into the darkness. All right, let's come in here and F7 it again. Oh, no, see? Yeah, the door doesn't block the light. Dang it. Do I have to, like, double door to get it to block the light? Or there might be a feral flare lantern lighting this up. Dang it. All right, we're going to need somewhere where I don't have a feral flare lantern. That is the one downside to them, is they light up real good. They do their job well. So give me a second here. I'm going to go find us a dark spot to get our ender seed crops growing here. Yeah. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so the mining dimension is not lit, so we can definitely do it here. So I went ahead and went back to base. I'm going to get us a bucket of water. We're going to put down some dirt. I don't know if the soil needs to be hydrated or not. We're going to put down our bucket of water there, and then I'm going to put some cobbled deep slate back in the hole. And then once we put the cobbled deep slate back in the hole, we can till this farmland. And our ender seeds should grow in here without issue, and it says that you can use a redstone torch, or that is the light level it needs to be. So they should grow just fine in here without a torch, and we don't really need a torch because I can put our night vision goggles back on and you guys can see what I'm doing in here. So these are gonna grow. I'm gonna see if they can be bone mealed. I'm gonna grab some bone meal real quick and let's just find out. Toss our bucket back in our backpack there. And then let's grab out some bone meal and see if we can get ourselves some ender pearls. Great use of our mining dimension too. So nope, looks like we cannot bone meal them, but you can see that one's actually showing some growth already, which is great. And we will just let these grow. Now, I probably am going to want to load these chunks so that while I'm in the world, they do grow without me having to be over here. So let's see, where is it? FTB chunk claiming mode. Here. And then shift. There we go. So now that chunk is force loaded, meaning that when I am in the world, the chunk will run. So even if I'm not in my mining dimension, this chunk is going to be active and running, and those crops should grow. So hopefully in the next 8 or 9 minutes, we can go back and see some ender pearls pop off of those for us. Very excited about finding that in the list of mods. Now, you can see storage is becoming an issue. So I'm got a ton of gold. Like we found in the nether a geode that was full of gold ore, whole gold ore blocks, just a ton of them. So I mined that all up, ran it through the pulverizer, smelted it up. Let's make ourselves some iron to gold upgrades so that we can upgrade some of our storage chests here. So iron, and then iron to gold right here. So it's a redstone torch and 8 gold. And we should have redstone torches right here. And we're just going to make up, as I think 15 is what I had. So if we've got enough gold for that, we will just make that up, balance that out. There we go. So first things first, the like growing stuff is full, blocks is full. Let's look at what else is really getting kind of full. I think those are the only two that are like super full. Now this one, miscellaneous one here in the middle, kind of getting full. There's no real reason not to upgrade those middle runs. And then how many do I have left? I have 8 left. Probably valuables, be good to upgrade. And then we'll just go there, there, and there. Okay, the whole back wall. Also, yes, right-clicking with your grappling hook is a thing because you want to have it ready in case you fall in the void, okay? Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way and that we all agree. So we are 2 more. We need 4 more inferium, and we will have enough to make our iron seed. Now, I know this has been fast and furious, but here's our lumium. Let's get that going. Phytogenic Insolator, aluminum gears. We need some iron nuggets. We're going to need a machine frame. Dadgummit. So we're going to need iron nuggets. The machine frame takes glass. What was it? A 10 gear. So we need some 10. We got some more raw tin. Let's go ahead and pulverize that up. And then what else did we need? Let's go look. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, we're going to need redstone and gold. So gold and redstone for the flux doohickey. So our 2 lumium gears. Did I not grab iron nuggets? I grabbed gold nuggets. Oops. Oopsie. All right, where are the iron nuggets? There they are. I knew I had some. Oh, I can't wait to get to an ME system, but, you know, let's not rush through the pack here. We're going to make way more than one of these phytogenic insulators, but for the purposes of the content and making it with you guys, I'm just going to make the one right now. There's our 10 gear. We're going to need some iron. Knew we were going to need that. Oh, not blocks of gold, you dummy. Grab the right thing. There you go. All right, and then machine frame. And it looks like we're probably just missing a piece of dirt. Dirt. There we go. If you wonder why my stuff scrolls so much, I play with a G502 Lightspeed, and I keep the clicker for the scroll wheel off because I just like to be able to free scroll when I'm surfing the web and stuff. And yeah, that's the byproduct of it. Now, this is not going to run constantly for us just yet. We're going to need a way to get water into the Phytogenic Insulator because the Phytogenic Insulator takes power and it takes water to be able to run and grow your crops constantly. That is where we're going to turn to thermal once again, and we're going to look at the aqueous accumulator right here from thermal. So we need some copper, some iron, a bucket, redstone. Yeah, so copper's probably the only thing we don't have on us. Let's grab out, not blocks. There we go, ingots. And then let's see if we can make one of those up. Now, what this is going to do is it will take an in-world infinite water source, and it will pump out of it infinitely. And you can use pipes to pump your water out, or you could like sit the accumulator directly on top of it. Might be what we do just for demonstration purposes for the video today. Well, we need power for it, so we're going to have to get into some kind of pipes. This was an off-camera Wooly oversight here. We need pipes. We need a way to either move power or water or both, because this is kind of ugly. I mean, come on. Just stacking machines, Wooly, because your one power generation's back there. Get unlazy. Okay, I'll get unlazy. Let's go take a look at the quest book, because we haven't been doing a whole lot of that. Although this quest book, like I said, is more of like to guide you in the right direction, it seems like, rather than to walk you through playing the pack, which personally I kind of like. So in Enderio, conduits are our transfer items, liquids, and energy between machines and whatnot. This is what we're going to need to do. So we need to make some conduit binder composite, which is gravel, sand, and clay, it looks like. And it is one of the composite turns into two of the binders. So let's just grab out some stuff and make a little bit of this. I don't know how much we're going to make, but we're going to make some. Probably limited by whatever resource we have the least of. We shall see. So let's shift click that into the crafting grid. Sure. Let's just go ahead and make like 32 of them. And then we can we smelt them in here? Yes, we can. Nice. I mean, they're an Enderio thing, so hopefully I can smelt it in the alloy smelter. And then as you can see, that's pretty quick to get us our conduit binders going. Now, I have never played with Enderio. I just read this in the quest book, guys. So this quest book's good enough for somebody that's never played with Enderio to be able to like, okay, this is where I need to go for pipes. Don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to try to figure it out. It looks like it gave us some glass, some pulsating alloy nuggets, and conductive alloy ingots. Combine those to make the conduits. All right, item conduits, redstone conduits, fluid conduits, and energy conduits. So we're going to want some fluid, and we are going to want some energy. So let's bookmark those, and then let's take a look at what they take. So fluid conduits accepts any Enderio clear glass and 6 conduit binders. How many clear glass did it give us? Gave us 3. Okay, so we're going to need to make some more of this clear glass. Don't know how you make it, but we'll figure that out. So now we should be able to make 8 fluid conduits to move fluid. We should be able to hopefully use these with our thermal machines. Who knows if thermal pipes are cheaper, but I have used them before, and let's just try the other one. Let's see, what does clear glass take to make? Oh, we don't need clear glass for this one. We need the conductive alloy it gave us. Nice. So there we have it. We have some energy. We have everything else. Let's pick up all these machines. And I guess my bedroom is going to become the new where we put everything powered. So is that what I want to do? I mean, sure, why not? You know, I mean, all I do is go over there to sleep. It's really just more of a respawn point because I really sleep with like a sleeping bag unless I'm home. So, these conduits, I don't know how they work. I don't know if they take up their own. I think it says that like they sit in the same block space as the machine, but that kind of doesn't make sense, but kind of does. So let's see. So if we want to transfer energy, how does this work? All right, that's going to export it. Now the question becomes, can you like set a machine on these? Because the way it read, it sounds like I could put a machine in that same block. No, but I can put them on top. That's fine. Okay. So there is our alloy smelter, which we kind of don't want it on top because having the chest to be able to go in and out of it was nice. So we'll go sag mill there. We will go alloy smelter here. I'll probably close in this floor to give us like one more block space to work with. Get our barrel back on top of there. And then we had the pulverizer with the barrel on top, which also needs power. Then we had our induction smelter, and it also needs power. And then I'm gonna need to get power to our aqueous accumulator, which needs an infinite water source. So, no, still not working. Information provides copious amounts of water, requires adjacent water sources to function. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Duh, Wooly. It doesn't actually require an infinite below it. That is the mechanism pump. This one needs water sources on either side. Look at me using it wrong. There we go. So now, if we take another fluid conduit, and then I don't know, we're going to need our wrench for Enderio, I guess, to flip that. And then if I... redstone channel green, active, wait, redstone mode. Redstone mode never active, always active. There we go. And then here, always active. All right, so, which means that we can probably take these off, and then we can come here and we can tell it to extract. Well, let's break it rather than trying to wrench it again. Then we can tell it always active, extract, and there we have it. So now, the reason we want the Phytogenic Insulator. I know it seems like I didn't know what I was doing right there, and I'm sorry for that, and I'll probably cut some of it out, but I'll leave some of it in, is for this. So let's click these until we get a extra seed. There we go. So we got an extra Inferium seed right now, and we should be able to just take this and toss it in. Here we have it. As you can see, it lit up. The sun is growing. Let me make sure we don't need a soil. It's been so long. Yeah, we don't need anything. It should tell us how long it takes. I don't know how long it takes, but should be growing. Why is it not growing? Redstone signal controls redstone ignored, high, low. We want it on ignored. Yep, that's right. Oh, wow. Super slow. So, with that said, you can see that it's growing, but even if it's super duper slow, if it grows over time while we're in the world and harvests itself, unlike these that have been ready for a while, but we haven't gone out here and harvested them, so they're just sitting here ready and they're not growing the next crop, that thing's going to auto harvest and we can output into a chest or a barrel or something of the sort. And that is going to allow us to get much, much more of resources over time. Now, this ran a little long because I fumbled through. I've never used Enderio cables, don't know how they work, and I forgot how to set up the aqueous accumulator. Sorry, I'm human, okay? But yeah, so look at it. Here we go. It's growing. We can speed this up with, let's go look and see what those take. At thermal, they are called... they look like computer chips, these things. Hardened integral components, we can put these in there, and then there are other augments we can put in too. Increases process speed, but reduces RF efficiency, so the linkage amplifier is one we can probably use. We can definitely put in an integral component. These speed them up the most, but you can only have one of those per machine. And then there is another one we want to use called cyclical processing that we'll need to get into. The cyclical processing takes that constantan that we were talking about before, and we're going to have to make a new metal called signalum. And signalum is stuff we already have, silver, copper, redstone in the induction smelter. We're going to need to make those, but all of those upgrades are going to get us to a point where this is really really fast at cranking out resources for us. And we'll be able to just have a little farm of all these machines and set them up tied into our storage controller or another storage controller somewhere around the base and produce an absolute ton of resources. So today's episode may not have been the cleanest. We may not have gone through it like we knew what we were doing the entire time, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you're not already, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and we'll see y'all next time.